Within the medical examiner community, one name that is most recognizable is Lakshmanan Sathyavagiswaran, longtime LA County medical examiner who has overseen a number of high-profile autopsies, and we are absolutely thrilled to have him in studio with us right now. Thanks for your time.
Thank you for including me in this program.
Absolutely. You can't really talk about forensic science without your name coming up, that's for sure. You have had a journey to become one of the most well-known medical examiners in the country. You've autopsied a number of high-profile people. Did you always want to become involved in forensic science? How did you end up in this field?
Well, my interest in forensic science started in medical school when my professor of forensic medicine, Dr. Ganapathy, was doing an autopsy on a young suicide victim. And we discovered she had tuberculosis, which is a communicable disease. So I found out the role of the pathologist in public health.
Okay.
Then of course this was reinforced by my father, who was a doctor, my grandfather was a judge, my uncle who was a police officer who emphasized scene investigations. My grandfather was a judge who emphasized not having any conflict of interest. They were all dedicated public service professionals who imbibed me a strong work ethic, so I try to do what is right and sleep well at night.
When you know that you've got, news outlets, celebrity gossip sites, the general public dying to know what's on that final report, is there, an urgency to it? Do you feel the need to expedite that report?
No, we have to do a quality medical legal death investigation. If it takes time, it takes time. But I'm happy you asked that question. We always keep the family informed. They are very, very important to us.
Yeah.
Before we release anything to the public, we work with the law enforcement if they are involved and make sure the family is involved and keep them up to date every step of the way.
Right. All right, we were talking about 75 years of AAFS here, and we've been talking about some of the advances that have been made and some of the greatest achievements. You've seen, I'm assuming, over the course of your time, some pretty incredible advances in the technology, in research methods. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, and this should bring up the main four functions we have. We have an important role in public health, I discussed that. We have an important role in the civil and criminal justice system by giving a comprehensive report. We also do clinical forensic medicine, where we help the prosecutors with survivors of injury. And last but not the least, we are a big supporter of organ procurement in our cases, because most of the organ donors are victims of trauma, and the family gives consent. And we allow the organ procurement as long as there's no difficulties in injury interpretation, cause of death determination, or toxicology analysis. And all these advances in forensic science all play a role in getting this done.
Right. All right, final question for you here. What would be your biggest piece of advice for the next generation of forensic science?
Always have the willingness to listen, talk to the families with empathy and kindness and courtesy, and keep in mind that they need closure with a good comprehensive medical legal death investigation. Work as a team with other professionals in the forensic sciences, like law enforcement, criminalists, laboratory professionals. Know the ABC of success: acknowledging each other's expertise, building relationships, and coming to cooperative ventures. Do not attack, belittle, or criticize. The last two sentences I want to bring up here is also think before you talk. And nowadays you have the text and email. Right. Think before you type.
Yes.
Because you have to be very, very careful.
Yes.
And you have to remember that whatever you say will be taken out of context. And one more thing which I want to tell is, everybody has a lot of good in them. Think of the good things people do. And one day when you become a manager in a big office like ours, sometimes you get recognition. Make sure the person who does the work gets the recognition. But sometimes you get blame and shame. Then you as a leader accept it with grace and take the blame and shame.
Take it and learn from it.
Yes.
All right, well, certainly appreciate your time today. Such a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.